So Darren, in your recent viral posts on X, you took a walk around the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building and counted the 49 people scattered around doing or selling drugs in broad daylight. How do things get so bad?
Personally, I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've seen firsthand our community go from being the cultural capital of the world to the technological capital of the world to what seems like the fentanyl capital of the world. And the Nancy Pelosi building has been giving our neighborhood a lot of trouble. Pounds of fentanyl are distributed and used right there on the corner of 7th and Mission. And, I've personally seen countless people overdose, and the story remains the same. The song remains the same time and time again. People are overdosing on fentanyl, and it's a very pressing issue in San Francisco right now.
When did you see a noticeable decline?
This happened over a period of 10 to 20 years. 2015, there was so much hope and aspirations for San Francisco. The South of Market area was transforming faster than ever before. Somewhere between all this advancement in technology, there was a decline in humanity. And for many years, the community has been voting progressively for liberal ideas. And personally, I believe that, what's happening in our community is a direct result of electing corrupt Democrats who have placed profits above the families of our community. And progressive policy is making everything progressively worse. Harm reduction is causing more harm. And it appears, that our local government has failed our community. And so because the people inside the federal building aren't doing their job. So, it's very ironic, the whole thing, to see, federal employees, federal workers asked to stay at home because the federal building is not safe enough.
So what are some of the most shocking things you have seen in the area?
So living in San Francisco over the years, I've personally seen, hundreds of people dying. I've seen plenty of bodies. Every morning I go out and count the bodies. A woman did give birth right there in front of the federal building on 7th and Mission Street. She was a fentanyl addict, and I guess one day, 9 months pregnant, somebody laced her fentanyl with crack or something along those lines, and next thing you know, she's, crack-induced labor, and she's conceiving a child right there on the sidewalk. And the first thing the child ever touched in this world was the sidewalks. I think there are fourth world conditions within our first world country. And I think a lot of our inner cities, particularly on the coast, who are typically, Democrat voters, there's a lot of chaos and death happening in our communities across the country right now. I've been to Brazil. I've gone to Rio de Janeiro. I've been to the favelas there. I've seen the worst neighborhoods possible in Brazil firsthand, and I noticed a few things. First and foremost, women and children are safe most of the time. Second of all, there's nobody breaking into the cars. Third of all, elders aren't being attacked. There are, drugs and violence anywhere you go, no matter what country. Every tree has a few bad apples. But it seems a lot of the core downtown cities in our country are rotten to the core.
Do you think we've gone beyond the point of no return, or is there still hope for San Francisco?
I feel like, San Francisco, we're all in this boat together, and right now we are in a very severe storm. The waters are very choppy, and we may have to surrender the sails to the storm, or we might have to have some kind of mutiny. Families are heartbroken, they're shattered, they're divided, people are dying. It's absolutely horrible what's happening in our community, man.
Well, Darren Stallcup, thank you so much for joining me to talk about your insights.